Well, let's take a look at what else is happening in the country election-wise. Vuwani remains heavily guarded by police and the army. It's one of 650 high-risk areas during this election. Yesterday, at least 3 community members were arrested for trying to influence the community against voting. Let's get an update on the situation there. Special voting in that region, of course, was scheduled to begin this morning. Our reporter Lenyaro Sello joins us via our Skype line. Good morning to you, Len. Firstly, just give us a sense of whether or not voting has been able to take place.
Well, Kathy, voting stations are open in Vuwani, but we have not seen any residents going to vote. The only person that we have seen this morning to go vote is the acting speaker of the Vembe district municipality that Vuwani falls under. He came to Vuwani to vote, telling us that he's part of the local elections task team in the area, and so he had to cast a special ballot today to be part of preparations for tomorrow. He says that people in the area have a choice to vote or not. He says that with everything that is happening, we have to remember that even if there was no conflict in Vuwani, some people would still choose not to vote, as it happens across the country. So he's told us that he's hopeful that people will come out in their numbers. At different polling stations, Kathy, we have not seen people voting at those polling stations. But a very interesting fact that has come out of driving around Vuwani is the fact that the polling stations were at the different schools in Vuwani. The polling stations, the gates are locked. Therefore, people, the IEC has set up booths outside the locked gates. That's where the acting speaker of Vembe district municipality also had to vote outside of the gates of the venue that was supposed to be a polling station. Kathy?
Len, would this come as a surprise to the officials there? I mean, towards the end of last week, when we saw the signing of this agreement with Traditional and Cooperative Affairs Minister and representatives of the Vuwani community, it certainly set the tone that suggested that all was well.
Well, that's what happened. The minister brought together Limpopo government officials, brought together traditional leaders, saying that those traditional leaders were representing people of Vuwani. They signed an agreement, shaking hands in Polokwane. And I had asked him at the time that if an agreement has been signed, if it's all well and good in Vuwani, why was the agreement being signed in Polokwane and not in Vuwani? He had told me at the time that there was a lot of things happening in Polokwane, including the launch of the IEC Results Center, and that's why they had done it there. After that, I had gone to Vuwani, where I had spoken to residents that an agreement has been signed. Is it all systems go on voting day? And they had told me that there is no such thing. The Pro-Makado Forum, you'd remember, this is the forum that has been leading protests in Vuwani, that has been saying that they don't want to be part of the new municipality with Lamulele. Its leaders telling me that nobody in the area will vote. They said that residents want to boycott the vote because they were not part of the agreement. They were not consulted. And as for the traditional leaders who had gone to sign this agreement, they had no mandate from residents. And henceforth, that residents have decided to boycott the vote come August 3.
At this stage, what is the feeling of the IEC ahead of tomorrow, Len? I mean, we do understand because of the increased police visibility, no protests flaring up there, but is there enough confidence to host the election there tomorrow?
Well, Kathy, it's a wait-and-see game. As you said, security officials have beefed up security. As you drive through the streets of Vuwani, there's police nyalas. There was even a military convoy this morning in Vuwani. IEC officials are saying that there are 40,000 registered voters in the area. As to whether those voters will come out in their numbers, that remains to be seen. The residents did say that their shutdown continues, their boycott continues. But as for IEC, what they can only do what they are mandated to do, and is to open polling stations and carry out elections. During the last voter registration weekend, where there was violence in Vuwani, IEC officials could not access some of the roads. There were huge barricades. There was also a road that was dug up. This time round, as we are driving around Vuwani, we used those same roads that were barricaded the last time. The roads are open, police officers are everywhere. So again, we'll see tomorrow when the IEC officials are escorted to the various voting stations.
Thanks, Len. That's where we'll leave it for now. She's out in Vuwani for us. Sport and weather coming up in a moment. Do stay with us.